Grand Rising, everyone. Hope everyone is okay. Hope you're doing well. And I hope everything is going as planned. This is nikymus, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empires free. If you are new, on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality. I talk about personal and self-development. And if that's what resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us, give us a like, share this video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with us, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. As you continue to wake up, you continue to evolve. You will now start to understand that all the events that have been happening in your own personal life have been divinely orchestrated. So there was not simply mere coincidences. There was a reason as to why you have gone through certain things. There is a reason as to why you have been in certain places with certain people. Every step of your way, you have been under divine protection. If you're a chosen one, the chances are 99% that you were meant to wake up. Your awakening could have happened in different settings, in different scenarios. It is up to God to choose when are you going to wake up, how you're going to wake up, and under what circumstances are you going to wake up. It's already evident at this moment that there's a very big, massive global awakening around the planet that is happening. People now is starting to wake up and understand the existence and the presence of narcissistic people on the planet. There are many of them. There are millions. There are billions probably, and they have always been everywhere. Let's say, for example, you're questioning your current circumstances. This may be a video that a lot of people that are probably going to wake up could be experiencing at the moment. You was born into this family. There's an experience you had from your own family members. There's a way they used to treat you. There is some things your parents used to say to you. There is a way, a pattern you recognized that was going on in the system. You couldn't really pretty much understand a lot of things that was happening in that unit. Nothing would make sense. Even if you had your own questions, none of those questions was answered. Okay. You kept on growing. You went into a certain school. Now you have recognized that in that particular school, there have been other students in the school who was treating you a certain way. It's a video for the chosen ones. The chosen ones you will understand. The friends you had at school, they behaved in a way that you could recognize a similar pattern that also happened in your own family unit. Now you see the difference is, most of the times we are born to believe that because we are born with certain people, we are actually almost confident that these people was meant to be a part of us for the rest of life, for the rest of the time, till the end of time. But once you awaken, you'll understand that this was simply a family. Yes, it was toxic and dysfunctional, but at the end of the day, you are not going to move along with them on your journey. In most of the cases, like I've said, you're in school, you have recognized a similar behavior with the friends that you have had, maybe with the teachers that used to teach you in that particular school. It's a similar behavior that you have experienced in your own family system. Let's go even further and deeper. You went ahead, you met your first boyfriend, or maybe you met your first girlfriend. This particular boyfriend or girlfriend you had dated in that particular time, you also started to recognize a pattern. That pattern was very similar to the same pattern that you recognized in school and the same pattern you had in your own family system. It was just a different place, but it was the same pattern. This can go on and on. We can go even into the job situation where you was in that job place. You still recognized a certain way people treated you in that job place. It was starting to make a lot of sense because you still could recognize certain patterns. Now you see, as you go through life, God will be putting you in different scenarios because there is things that God wants you to see. There is things you're being taught, what do they call it? You are in a school, okay? You're learning things. The reason that you can recognize patterns in different areas on your journey means that you're actually learning some very important lessons about your life. Before you come to that realization that you are probably a chosen person, these are some of the things you're going to do. But amongst the top things you're going to recognize, you are going to be moved and bounced from place to place. Because you see, for an awakening to happen, you have got to be spiritually prepared. Because there is things, you are going to come to the bottom of things. You are going to see some things you was not ready for. You will have some experiences you are not even prepared for. But at the same time, on a spiritual level, you will know that probably it has been the right time for you to get this awakening. Because from that point forwards, there is one thing I can guarantee. One thing I can guarantee, your life can never be the same. You will never be the person that you used to be. So everything around you is going to shift 180 degrees. You will never be able to look at people the same. You can never be able to see your exes, your relationships, your friends, your family. It will never be the same. You will start to understand that all these little things that you used to question back in the days, because let's say, for example, you was a person who was expelled from school, something happened in school, it wasn't even your fault, you was expelled from school, something happened in your work, you was suspended or expelled from work, you was punished for different things, you couldn't actually make sense of those particular events. The more you continue to wake up and evolve, you realize that these little things that used to happen, actually, there was a divine order happening behind the scenes. There was actually things that was happening for you, because all these events was leading you to the grand awakening. Now you see, back in the days when you used to question things, that is because there was something in your spirit that could recognize something that wasn't meant to be. So you was little by little having these little mini awakenings. They wasn't making any sense. God was preparing you behind the scenes for the big awakening. Depending on what your life or how your life has been on your journey, the grand awakening is going to be the breaking point. After going through all these little experiences one by one, God is going to move you into locations, different places, different scenarios, different people. It is going to be the same energy in a different scenario. Then eventually you're going to be in a place where you're going to be able to understand the spiritual world and what is really going on spiritually, the things that not many people talk about and the events that many people can't understand. You will be able to go through that experience. You are now able to register that as something that is not normal, something that many people are not willing to face, and something that even many people do not understand. When that thing happens, in that final place that you go or where you will be, not everybody has woken up from toxic relationships. You could have woken up somewhere in hospital. You had your awakening in the hospital. You had a near-death experience. There is something happened in your life that actually triggered this massive awakening to happen. The moment it has happened is now when you start to revisit all the areas of your life, the way you've been moving and the things you have done. You now understand that you was being prepared for the awakening. Each and every place that you go, again, it is divinely orchestrated by the divine. You do not see these things because it's spiritual. It is happening behind the scenes. You don't know why you've been fired from work. You don't know why you've been rejected by this woman. Then you ended up with another woman. You don't know why you have been thrown out of your own church. You went to a different church. The same thing happened. You was thrown out. So you don't know why these things have been happening. You have always had the questions, even if you didn't know what the answers was. But now you're starting to understand post-awakening that all those little events, God was pushing you to the right place where you could be triggered to awakening. The experience is not any different. The experience you are in that particular place is the same experience that has been in the previous place. But most likely, you wasn't meant to wake up in that particular place. So God kept on moving you in places from place to place until the point where you would be triggered to awaken. The awakening is a result most of the cases, it's a traumatic experience. So you may be going through a very long session of trauma. Why didn't that trauma take your life? That is because you was not meant to go. Your life was supposed to be preserved, but you were meant to experience some things on a deep spiritual level and register those things in your brain, because those events are going to be very beneficial on your journey, along your journey. Everything that you've been going through has been designing your own personal story. At the end of it all, when the grand awakening happens, you now have something to say because you have gone through an experience that very few people can understand. So each and every moment, event, place, things you have done has been carefully designed by the divine because you was being prepared to awaken. In my case scenario, I was brought very far away from my family unit, and I was put in a place of isolation. It is in that isolation that I was able to experience the most horrible narcissistic experience I've ever registered in my life. And that is exactly in that process when I was triggered to wake up. There's nothing is happening in your life is a coincidence. You will not see it now, you don't understand what it is, but I can promise you there is a secret that you do not see. You will be able to understand later on when that point comes and you get your grand awakening. Like I said, everybody is going to be different. But while you try to question or while you're trying to fight around with the bosses why they've sacked you from work, with the reason as to why that woman has rejected you, with the reason as to why your landlord has thrown you out of the house, you didn't do anything wrong, the reason as to why you're being homeless, there is things that you don't see. You're being prepared for the grand awakening. Everything is going to happen at the right time. Nobody knows when the grand awakening will happen. Like I've said, everybody is going to go through their own time, their own journey. Everybody is walking their own journey. When the time comes, you will know that all the things have been happening. Many years ago, you didn't have the questions or you didn't have the answers for those things. All those things was leading you to this big process where you now understand God was working on your side. There was a divine protection around you. You was being prepared to awaken. Let me know if this video is making sense. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session if you want to. You might donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I'll catch you guys in my next one. Denzomos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.